Yeah, it looks like he is. Doesn't look like there's anybody that's disconnected. Yeah. Oh yeah. So once it ticks over to the warm up, I'll roll in with the intro video. Once it ticks over to the warm up, I'll roll in with the intro video. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Mine is a 2060. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
There's no weather worries either, eh? Got the string going to
Right, good evening and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge with some action-packed racing with the V8s at Watkins Glen tonight. I'm Shane White, filling in for Doug tonight. You're stuck with me because he's working nights, and I'm joined in the Broadcasting Lounge with Corey Kitchen alongside me. How you going, Corey?
Yeah, I'm good, Shano. Good, yep. Good to be back. Week off last week for me.
Yeah, always good to have you back. And Ben McMurray, hopefully back at his mic now.
Yep, been a bit on and off with the old commentating. Hopefully, still not doing a shit job, but we're back. And yeah, school holidays, so we'll be in here a fair bit more. Looking forward to it. Good night at Watkins.
Yeah, sounds good. Good to have you here. So, this is what we've got in store for us tonight. Watkins Glen, 5.41 kilometre circuit, sitting at 136 metres above sea level, running on the boot configuration tonight as opposed to the shorter cup configuration that used to be standard anytime the V8s came here, but now they seem to be switching to the longer layout, which is very, very cool to see. 19 degrees air temperature at the moment and 54% humidity. No chance of rain because iRacing hasn't got rain ready for the supercars yet. We're running through a bit of a warm-up session at the moment, so we can jump down trackside and see what's going on in that session. We've got Rob Higgins out there doing some laps. No times on the board yet. Should be a challenging night though. Nice little circuit. What can you guys tell us about the challenges of the circuit?
Well, I'll have to get ChatGPT up and get some fun facts, but we'll do that later on. We'll just boot up iRacing and see what it's got.
I can tell you it's in New York, Watkins Glen, so it's on the east coast of America. I had some, while Ben's looking for something interesting, the Div 2 Championship points. So Jonathan Turner, he's currently leading, and he hasn't won any of the races, but consistency from Jonathan has got him the lead. He's on 177 points. Daniel Johnson not too far behind, and then Shane White, you've been losing some places tonight, having to fill in.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised I'm so far up the order. I did grab a podium one night, but I missed a couple of rounds as well and had a not so good round at one point.
Yeah, so you're just over 20 points behind the leader, Jonathan Turner, in third place. So, yep, inside the top 10. But interesting couple of things I've found while looking at them, that only one person in the top 10, Michael Gunstone, has won a race. And the stat from Scott Pickering is currently an 8th on 122 points. 32 is the average start, 32nd, and his average finish is 4th. So, yeah, that's plenty of passing from Scott.
Yeah, plenty of passing for sure. So we've got NAPA on board as our weekly sponsor tonight, and also, of course, sponsor of the Broadcasting Lounge. So we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. We've got a little spanner cutlery set giveaway. So that's basically knives and forks and spoons with spanners on the end of them. And if you want to win that and you're watching at home tonight, just shout out who you're supporting, and of all the drivers that get shouted out, whoever finishes the highest, the person that shouted that driver out will take that prize away.
Yeah, so hopefully you're watching, one of the people currently watching on the Broadcasting Lounge on YouTube.
We've got an evening, gents, from Laz. Unfortunately, Rehan, if he's racing tonight, will be in the top split, and we're broadcasting the second split tonight. We can have a look at the grid standings now. So Oliver Jepson on pole, Michael Gunstone second, Glenn Collinson third, Wayne Hartnell fourth, John Gibson fifth, Ross Watson sixth, Nathan Gardner seventh, and Dan Turner is eighth. And then I can hit that button to scroll down the page. It scrolled a bit too far actually. Good old technology, we love it. So Jonathan Turner is ninth and Grant Bristow rounds out the top 10. And I don't think we're going to have time to go through the rest of it because we're about to get those lights up. So we will jump back to here. Revs come up, lights come up, and they're underway.
29 cars on the grid tonight, so it's a good sized field. Turn 1, Watkins Glen.
Very good getaway there, quite comfortable, no real drop downs there, or everyone seems to grip up the tyres quite well. Scott Pickering looking to climb up the field.
Oh, big moment there, big moment with Collinson, I think that was, trying to look at his name as he's dropping down the water. Parked on the outside of turn 3 there, manages to wait for everybody else to go past, and looks like nobody else caught up in that incident, so we can jump back to the front as the leaders are making. And there's another incident behind Nathan Gardner.
The bus stop, that was somewhere where I thought there might have been some drama.
And there's a Misfits car going slow as well. A little bit of contact between Nathan and one of the Jigsaw cars, I think they're coming to the sweeper.
Yeah, it looked to be Nick Baker, it was a good save.
Oh, 4 wide here. Grant Bristow on the outside there. They've actually settled down into a little bit of 2 wide and single file behind. But racing hard in the mid-pack. We've got a Simplex car going for a dive down the inside there. Almost making contact with Grant Bristow. Carl Rankin there in the Simplex car. Picking up a couple of spots there in that single turn, I think.
They're losing a few more there with a big lock-up.
An action-packed lap 1.
It has, and Oliver Jepson's going to lead them across the line. He's got a 2.5 seconds back to Michael Dunn. Second with Charlie Jepson round up top 3. Plenty of action here as we've got Simon Nathan making a move on Brendan Brownie for 5th place. Simon just opened the wheel a little bit there on the other, actually a little bit higher up onto that curve there, caused him to get out of the trouble and takes that place.
Quite tricky one of that is we saw with one of the Misfits cars. Somebody quite careful flat in there. It's one of car 245, not quite sure where that is, makes a nice wee move through the bus stop.
Yes, Andrew Uden.
There we go.
And that was making a move on Rob Higgins next in the Andrews sites with a good okay. And then up to 2 car if Andrew got the place to get to. That's a nice little battle there at the moment as well with Grant Bristow continuing to come under pressure. Hasn't been the best of race starts for Grant, although he's only down 1 position, so he must have got a good launch and then dropped a couple of positions. Getting caught up in those battles early on. And BJ poking the nose out of the draft and getting alongside before the braking point, and I would imagine Grant's going to give him plenty of space, but there's still, actually I think, yeah, BJ just clearing him on the run up towards turn, actually that's not numbered on my track map. The track map has got the shorter version numbers and not the boot numbers, so that's alright.
And don't forget, if you're watching, to shout out who you're supporting, and if the person you shout out is the highest up the order at the end of the race, then you're going to go in with a chance to win a pretty cool cutlery set. Thanks to NAPA Auto Parts.
And Stephen McCartan shouting out Nathan Gardner. Unfortunately, things not going so well for Nathan so far, been caught up in that early incident and making an early pit stop there as well. So, well, it's a long way back to the finish on 1 set of tyres here, but he's obviously wanting to get that fast repair done and see if he can get some good laps in and clear air and end up with a good result there. So, hey, potentially if Stefan's the only one that drops a shout out there, then he might win a prize.
Yeah, Laz reckons he can't hear us over in Australia.
Too far away, eh?
Yeah, I reckon it could be that. I am talking a little bit quieter tonight myself, due to my son being with me for the school holidays, so he's sleeping a metre and a half behind me.
Now, if it was just me that was hard to hear. What I've just done might have fixed that. Apparently at the end of the intro video I'd clicked back on the wrong thing there, so hopefully that should make me a little bit easier to hear. Yeah, potentially, well hopefully you guys should be alright.
Yep, we're always hoping. So there's been a couple of drivers that have done pretty well moving up the field so far. We bring that up. But Brett O'Keefe just up into the top 10, up 11 spots, and Nick Bakey is up 11 spots as well.
And for them being 7 spots apart, both on the same straight still, so very tight racing through from 10th down to about 20th position at the moment. It's just about one big battle pack, isn't it? No move to the one with 16th and David Johnston.
Plays out, both of course for the same team. Johnson racing.
Oh, and Daniel's just actually made a mistake at the bus stop as well.
Yeah, mistake was the ZV. Dougie, if you're listening hard.
I'm not going to bother trying to get into the history of that little inside joke because it's gone on far too long, I think, and Doug knows a lot more about it than I do.
No, it's always good to hear him tell his wee story about the pie.
Just while things are a little bit more settled down at the moment, we can jump in and have a look at those lap 1 incidents. So we had Glenn Collinson, the first one, coming up through turn 2, just losing the rear by himself and making contact with the Armco, doing a good job to stay on the brakes and letting the whole field roll through before he rejoined. And then we saw Nathan Gardner at the bus stop, so we're going to see him turning in contact with the Misfits car there, 25 car, so that was Ross Watson that he had contact with. And Ross actually redressing that as well, so fair play. And then the contact with Nick, and Nick doing a great job to get that one up.
Yeah, especially there, it's very cambered corner. I've come unstuck there in one of these cars many times and never saved it.
Someone was well and truly wide there. Chris Zalewski rejoining off the back of turn 1, and I think that was wide enough that he will be having to address his slowdown penalty on that as well. Nick Bakey's still on the thick of it. Looks like he might have just made a pass on Grant Bristow for 15th position. So Grant just sliding back at the moment, unfortunately, while Nick is really finding his way up the order, up 13 spots now.
Yeah, that's a fairly good drive for the one of the original Libertas NZ admin, Nick Bakey, Grandad.
Yeah, absolutely. Founding member. One of the first group of 4 who used to just go racing together as their own little group, and then lockdown came and they decided to form a league, and the rest is history. We've got some data on a Matt McDonald crash as well, so we'll see what happens here. Matt in the 21. Oh, so that was one of the Misfits car. Yeah, I think the Misfits car just grabbed a bit of grass, and unfortunately for Matt, he's got caught up in that, in a little bit of a glitch in the Armco barrier, and that's forced him to tow back to pit lane, so that is super unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Matty.
Nick Bakey making a really stop.
There's a car just hitting the pit lane exit there, might have lost it. I think it was a Misfits car. Might have lost it out of the rear turn on traction if we could get a replay on that.
Oh yeah, look at that, we've got a damaged car coming into shot.
Collinson might have lost it into the pit exit, entry, sorry.
Not seeing any data on that at the moment.
Look, a bit of damage there on, is it car 19?
I have got Glenn passing Carl Rankin, so maybe this could be tied into the same record. Oh, so Carl and the Simbax car limping back to pit lane.
Will there be a bit of beef afterwards between Team Simblacks and the Misfits? Sure, no. Very two iconic teams.
So this is what happened to Glenn, involved with Brendan Brownie as well in this part of the track, and sorry, Carl, not Glenn. Carl and Brendan Brownie colliding there, and that looked to me like Carl did a bit of a, was it Matt Payne that did that to Cam Waters at the GP? And then Carl just coming across, and yeah, just unfortunate Glenn, I think, wanting to come to pit lane as well and found a Simbax car in the way there, so a little bit unfortunate, but heavy damage, so not ideal. I guess though, if you're going to have an incident like that, you want to do it on the way into pit lane rather than on the way out.
So we've got 3 cars that have all made their pit stop, I guess. So Glenn Collinson, it's obviously had a pit stop now. John Lee and Matt Bakey pits. So they are looking for a chance at an undercut, I guess.
Yeah, we've also just caught the tail end of this pass for P3. We'll go back to the replay on that because that's for the final podium spot. So Simon Nathan coming up on Jono Gibson. Bit of draft down the front straight, pulls out into turn 1, and room given by Jono, and Simon's able to get the job done and get onto that podium.
Yeah, so a 28 lap race tonight as well, isn't it?
It is 150 k's, so it's quite a long one, not as long as what we had last week with the 90-minute enduro, but certainly these guys will be having to manage their tyres and fuel and everything else through the race. I think fuel is a little bit over a full tank as it's been calculated by some of the guys pre-race, but that fuel should be covered off by tyres. But certainly when they make the stop to change tyres and add fuel will be an interesting strategy call for the guys.
Good little battle going on here between Jonathan Turner and Dan Turner, so that's uncle and nephew. It's got James McKenzie, just a wee bit further back. Brett O'Keefe just in front there. Got a pretty good battle pack going on for their top 10 as well, just a little bit further back from these guys. As I've spotted it, they've spread out a little bit now.
Yeah, so this gap appears to be the closest in the field at the moment, although Scott Pickering... Oh! Ooh, Bill Kilger in the wall, and towing back to pit lane for Bill, so something unfortunate going on there. Yeah, I saw his name flash back past Scott Pickering as I clicked on his name there, and just taken a bit too much of that curve there, I think, at the penultimate corner, and ending up in the fence, and not a heavy impact, but again getting stuck in that Armco barrier. So a few Armco glitches around here that iRacing might need to sort out, and unfortunately for Bill it's resulted in him having to tow back to the pits. Scott Pickering up 11 places from where he started, so he's sitting in 19th now, and has dropped back a little bit from Tim Volk. He was about 0.3 behind where I initially clicked on his name. Daniel Johnson in a battle with Ross Watson here. Ross is looking to see if he can find a way around, just putting the nose out and tucking back in there, just letting him know he's there.
Yeah, let him know he's there, put a little bit of pressure on. Always good when you get the driver in front looking in the mirrors.
Bit of a lock up from Daniel there as well, didn't quite open the door for Ross though. Oh, really climbing up on that curb like Bill did, getting loose but able to catch it. That's always a cool shot, riding on the nose, right at track level. You get to see how fast those cabs flash by. And when it gets really close, you get to see that camera going inside the bumper of the car in front.
Yeah, I believe last time we were here, the little incident with Nick Mitchell where it was crashed into a brick wall that nobody could see.
Oh yes, I remember that. I was on track in that race, and yeah, very unusual incident there where Nick just hit an invisible wall.
He did, yeah. Car in front had a bit of an oopsie-do, and yeah, it was pretty amusing, but unlucky for Nick.
Yeah, very unlucky. Actually, Simon Nathan on a bit of a charge at the moment. He's managed to find his way up to second position, got around Michael Dunstone a little earlier. We can grab a replay of that. Putting the pressure on through the intersection, able to get alongside before the bus stop, and Michael just bailing out of that one, recognising that he couldn't fight that in a very difficult section to go side by side through the bus stop, so giving it up and avoiding an incident, letting Simon Nathan get through. Big gap for Simon Nathan if he's got his sights on winning this race though. 6 seconds up to Oliver Jepson, who's just been putting in those consistent laps, built a nice solid lead.
Yeah, yet to go through the pits, so that's always where people can win or lose a race too, and especially at a track like this, pit lane it's tricky to get into if the car behind you doesn't know. Obviously, you know, there can be incidents around the pit entry like we've already seen, and getting out of pit lane here is also scary at times as well.
Yeah, and there's always a bit of a trick with getting into pit lane here as well, where the cone where you need to be down to speed is actually before the start of the pit wall, so it always feels like you've got a bit more time to get the car down to speed, and then suddenly you've gone over that cone too fast, and you're copping a penalty and having to sit in your box for an extra 40 seconds after your pit stop.
Yep, Mr. Plot's on you pretty fast these days, isn't he?
He sure is. Actually, last time we were here, I came into the lane, got down to speed in time, hit the button to put my pit limiter on, put my foot on the throttle, and it just kept accelerating past that limit. So my pit limiter button hadn't registered for whatever reason, and unfortunately I thought I had my limiter on and it wasn't, so I copped a penalty for that, which was a bit of a pain.
Fourth, or hopefully for these guys, battle for the third podium spot. If someone makes a mistake in front, I think we'll just run through a wee fun fact of Watkins Glen. So we're in V8s, but NASCAR is probably the closest thing we've got here. So in the early days of NASCAR, they used to have a bit of a lock up there. Going hard at it, those three. They used to have 1 or 2 road courses there. This is in the early 2000s, not the early days of NASCAR. And of course, the Glen was one of them. I'm pretty sure, I'll stand corrected, I think it was just on the Cup circuit, so not the boot. So there were teams at the bottom of the field, I can't remember. This is just from ChatGPT. They used to go for and hire a road driver for that race, pay them big bucks, like someone like Juan Pablo Montoya, who did a fair bit of NASCAR after his F1 career. They used to hire him, and he would go in there and he would win the race. And this was a team with, like, let's say in Formula 1 Haas, for example, no money and everything, and they just designed the car completely around this one race to win. Because that was the only or one of the only 2 road courses on the whole entire NASCAR calendar those years in the 2000s.
Yeah, very interesting. And I believe Marcus Ambrose went very well here in his time in NASCAR, didn't he?
Wouldn't have to play.
So obviously Marcus Ambrose was a two-time V8 SuperCars champion in the early 2000s and ventured over to America to do a bit of NASCAR, and yeah, I believe I think he might have had a couple of race wins, and both of them came here at Watkins Glen. So very much, obviously coming out of the road racing style that we're used to. Almost, I guess, a similar thing to what SVG did, except not quite as instant, where SVG went to Chicago, jumped in a NASCAR for the first time, and won the bloody race.
Of course, SVG's a big, well, not as much now that it's not locked down, but he did used to race in here, and he was a very quick driver, that's for sure, as you'd expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Even outside of lockdown, he was turning up every now and then when he was available to do a bit of racing. Obviously, a bit harder for him now. One, he's racing every single week. Two, he's based in the US, so the time difference makes it a bit tricky for him to get online with us.
It always adds a little bit of excitement to the race when there's a professional driver involved too. You know, you get to rub shoulders with the professional, and I know Shane didn't always like racing in the V8, so it was good to see him jump in the V8s towards the end there.
Yeah, well, he did a lot of GT3 racing with us towards the end of the Gen 2 days for that reason, and then when Gen 3 came out and he was done with the Gen 2 cars, I think he didn't mind running these cars because he wasn't running the real life equivalent, where I think he felt there was quite a bit of difference between these and the real life equivalent. So when he was having to race those in his day job, he felt like probably running them in the sim might give him some bad habits, I guess.
Oh, BJ O'Keefe, KRF Motorsports. He's having a day out of leading spot. Currently running around in third now, and looking to be chasing down Simon Nathan. He's already pulling away from Connor Gibson as well.
Yeah,
so we shout out there for OK Motorsports, and I think it's OK Motorsports, and Racing Graphics, who use some iRacing paints. Get in touch with him on Facebook. Beautiful paints there. A fair few of the grid, especially in Div 1 and in the GT3s, will be running his design. Yeah, get in touch with him. Sorry, I did catch off there,
does a good job.
So we got Dig Daddy Racing shouting out Andrew Upton. Oh, that's Andrew. Is Andrew Uden Andrew Upton? Is that a...
I'll go Uden on that one.
Yeah, Uden. Yep, he's currently in 25th.
Andrew Upton is a name we're very familiar with. Andrew Uden is a name I'm not familiar with, so I wonder if he's made a bit of a typo in the SDK driver information app there.
Andrew Uden is what's displaying in the chat, so we'll go with that one.
Oh, sorry, he is saying Uden as well, isn't he? Okay, yeah.
Yes, he is, yeah.
He is. That's weird. There I read it as Upton, and then I think I read it as Upton on my live timer as well till I clicked on it, and then realised it says Uden.
That's right, mate. You've had a big day.
Well, I haven't. I'm on leave now.
Oh, right. Oh, right, yes, yeah. Tell us where you're going this weekend, Shane.
Well, I'm off to Taupo tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? You're going to go fishing?
I don't think I'll quite have time for fishing.
Right, yeah.
You're
going sightseeing?
Yeah, going sightseeing. I'll be set up at second to last turn of Taupo International Motorsport Park watching some supercars go around the track.
Yeah, Mustangs in a whale.
And a whale, did you say?
Yeah. Wow. But Doug's not here to say these funny things, eh? So I gotta come up with them, eh? On the spot.
Yep.
It looks like BJ's caught and passed Johnny Gibson too. Up into second, changed the subject, up 19 spots.
I think Johnny Gibson was the guy you mentioned he was pulling away from before, wasn't he?
Oh, somebody's come into the pits then.
Yeah, we have had a few guys take their pit stops, so...
Oh,
yeah, Michael Gunstone is the first of the guys who have pitted, so that'll be interesting to see where he feeds in once everybody else pits.
Yeah, so some people pitted reasonably early, and they're going to be hoping that they get what some people call the undercut. Nick Bakey pitted on lap 5, so he's going long on his tyres.
Yeah, it's a very long way to go. 13 laps he'll be... No, correction, 23 laps he'll be looking at doing on one set of tyres, so that is a very long way. Absolutely doable in a GT3 car or a GTP car, but in a supercar, very, very difficult. These tyres do fall off pretty rapidly.
Another busy week of racing here at SuperCars at SNZ too, so we've got racing on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. Where are the HPR series this week, Shano?
I'll answer Shane there, there's one up. That'll be Road at Atlanta, full course. And that is, I think it's a sprint race.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a sprint race, yeah.
5 minutes race, yes, it should be a good one.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Sadly, I won't be here for that. As previously mentioned, I'm going to be in Taupo.
And Lime Rock tomorrow night for the 2 for 1. Legends at 8.
Yeah, Lime Rock's always a really cool track for little cars like that as well, so that should be a lot of fun for anybody that wants to turn up and have a blast.
If you don't have the ProMaster, it's one of the cheaper cars. I know I think it's like $5 or something to buy, which is too bad.
US.
There we go. Yeah, it'd be under $5 New Zealand, wouldn't it?
I think it is,
Yeah. Lazy fiver for a bit of fun on a Wednesday night, and the Legends, of course, everybody's got one of those. It's a pretty car, and I can tell you it's great fun. Lime Rock, pretty cool. Legends.
A few more guys making their pit stops. BJ's in the lane right now, so that's going to be interesting to see where he comes out, because he was really making a big charge up the field before the pit stops.
So we're looking for Michael Gunstone to see where he pops out. So at the moment he's just coming up and gets past BJ. So.
And BJ sat there a very long time as well, 23.3 seconds. You're looking at 8 to 10 seconds to do tyres on these cars, so maybe he started on low fuel and has had to add a significant amount more, and that's going to put him back behind Jonathan Turner as well. But if he can show the same sort of pace he had on that first stint, he should, or maybe able to close up that 7.5 seconds to catch Jono. And then of course there's also going to be the potential of some of the other guys that he had already passed just coming out in front of him when they take their stops as well, so we'll keep an eye on that way.
Yeah, just sort of looking through the timing there, it looks like BJ's actually got the fastest lap of the race with the 1:47.75. The guys up the front, Ollie, Oliver and Jono, theirs are both in the 48s. Simon Nathan did a 47.8. Dan Turner's 48, so yeah, so a little bit quicker than some of those guys up there at the moment, so might be looking to chew in a bit more the last sort of, what do we, 9 laps go?
Yeah. Yeah, we are already under that 10 to go mark, aren't we?
Oh, 28, so just about, yes, we're lap 16 at the moment.
I've got lap 17 showing here. Oh, of course, he's just started lap 17, just finished lap 16.
Yeah, it
so,
depends who you're looking at on the screen.
So Oliver Jepson just taken his pit stop. He's been our leader for the entirety of the race, and he comes out in 4th position at the moment. Is Scotty Pickering's a bit too far back to catch and pass him, so 4th position at the moment for Oliver Jepson, and everybody in front of him yet to pit, so he should regain that lead once all the pit stops are completed. But little bit of traffic here with Rob Higgins, and Rob just getting out of the way nicely and letting Ollie go down the inside into the bus stop to get back into third. Grant Bristow and Thomas McCall going side by side doing the S's. Grant able to get the run through there and gain the spot.
A shout out to the Team West boys there. So Wayne Hartman as well, he's managed to get out in front of BJ after the pit stop as well. So Jonathan Turner also did that. So those Team West boys say quick in the pits.
We can have a look at some pit lane times on the side of the time tower there as well. So that's actually time in the pit lane itself. If I go to pit time here, that's time stopped in your box. So you can see there, quickest time that we're seeing looks like 9.2 for Jonathan Turner, 9.2 for Thomas McCall as well. So nobody able to go under that 9-second mark, but you can certainly see that 23.3 seconds for Brett O'Keefe hurt him. Chris Deluski also a 20-second stop. Daniel Johnson not far off that with 18, but Jono Gibson 50 seconds, so potentially Jono picking up a speeding penalty at some point there, as we've got Grant Bristow under pressure from Thomas McCall. Thomas going down the inside. Grant leaving him room, and Thomas getting that spot back that he lost just a lap ago.
Another one of those Team West boys making up ground tonight.
Yeah, sure is. These are 11 spots. Scott Pickering, asterisks on this and that is yet to pit, but up 25 spots at the moment, so that'll be interesting to see what that comes back to when he does take his pit stop.
Start calling him the Darren Lobb of Div 2. Sorry Daz, listening mate.
Darren's probably a bit busy doing a last to first challenge over in Div 1, isn't he?
Yeah, well he could be in there. He's championship leader for Div 1 as well. Bruce Tannock nipping her heels, and Leon Weir in third for Div 1. And yeah, so we're focusing on Div 2 tonight. They're a wee bit cleaner, I reckon, just to stir it up.
Yeah, normally seems to be the way. Certainly a higher level of competition anyway in Div 1, and that often leads to guys not wanting to give the other guy any more room than they feel like they need to, and tends to lead to a few more racing incidents where Div 2 there's a little bit more, I guess, patience and make room for the other guy when he's there, and don't fight battles that you don't need to fight, just a little bit more of that makes it all a bit cleaner here.
Ollie Jepson now, just his last lap there, fastest lap of the race with a 47.6. So saving his pace for the end of the race. Here we go. Rhyming.
You're a poet and you don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously Ollie getting in and making that stop. Well, that's a very old, gotta be a very old livery with NZ Super Series across the windscreen down over there. But yeah, Ollie obviously having just made that stop would have added a little bit of fuel to cover tyres. It would be on a much lighter fuel load than he would have been at the start of the race. So lower fuel, fresh tyres, obviously equals good pace for Ollie there.
Yeah, well he was, before the pit stop his fastest was 48, so yeah, obviously like you say, lighter fuel load, more pace, science.
Just realised my mic's been off for the last 5 minutes.
Oh no.
Been trying to speak and I've been wondering why no one's been on. Oh well.
Do you have
We'll
something
go back.
good
We'll
for
go
us?
from there.
You must have something good for us, Ben.
Well, not now because it's all been said.
Yeah.
So now that Ben's done talking to himself, so Dan Turner in the lane taking his pit stop. That puts Oliver Jepson back to the lead. Scott Pickering looks like the last guy yet to make a stop.
He wants to get to that lead, but he can't.
Yeah, Ollie's already made his way around, and also no, Ollie came out ahead of Scott and has extended that lead to 12 seconds already. So those tyres will be hurting for Scott, but I wonder if he just is planning to pit fairly late into the race and wants to have some fun passing some cars in that run to the flag.
It'd be a shame if it's a safety car or something. Doug's not here, we're safe.
Yeah. Andrew Johnson not too far behind Andrew Uden at the moment. Oh,
Are in the comments.
I was just going to comment on that. Macca out of the Div 1 race. Obviously heard our chat about how much cleaner it is down here. He says way cleaner. He couldn't even get to his pit stop.
Oh, it's good to have you watching, Maggie. I was looking to drag you up into the broadcast but you're not here.
Seems to be the quicker you get, the bigger the ego, and the bigger the ego, the bolder the overtakes. The bolder the overtakes, the more the crashes.
That's it.
Oh, it's all about being aware of what's around you, who's around you, and learning how they drive too. Avoidance is something I shout pretty loud.
Scott
Asking cars to stop.
Yep, Scott Pickering in the lane now, making his stop and overshooting the box as well, so that won't help. Gets fast repair done to get that Mustang straightened up again. And he'll sit on the jacks. 10.3 seconds there. Not sure whether that counted from when he actually stopped cleanly in his box or if it started counting when he passed through his box. But anyway, 10.3. Not the fastest, not the slowest, and he'll get back out there. Bit of wheel spin as he released the limiter there, but looks like he's going to rejoin in 15th position between Grant Bristow and Daniel Johnson.
Well, that puts him out there. He's still currently the youngest mover of the field.
Yeah, up 15 spots. Although, 2 of those must be a freebie, because that puts him starting in 30th position, and well, 3 of those would be a freebie. No, Ben's name's not on the list. Ben's done the right thing and joined as a spectator. Oh, I can't even join. Okay. But yeah, so those 15 positions would include passing you and I, Corey, which he obviously hasn't actually done. That's a bit of a freebie, but I think still credit to him for starting at the back and running mid-pack.
Yeah, it's still a significant gain, you know, and obviously having to do it again after pitting as well, passing a few more cars. Yeah, Dave, if you're watching, and jump in the chat, shout out your favourite driver, you know, who you're supporting. Let us know in the comments. Go to the draw. Well, no, sorry, whoever finishes the highest, if that's who you shout out, you grab yourself a better cutlery set, is it, Shano? Thanks to NAPA.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. I'll just pull out the details again to make sure that we've got that right.
Currently we're running, we've only got 2 drivers. That's Nathan Gardner, nominated by Stefan McCudden, and then Big Daddy Racing, nominated Andrew. I think Andrew might be getting it at this stage. Nathan Gardner retired quite early on with a bit of an unfortunate start.
Oh, yeah, so he's left the server. unlucky Stefan, who will be doing race control, but watching Div 2 because it's more exciting apparently. Hopefully.
Yeah, so if you're watching and you want to win yourself a spanner cutlery set from NAPA, get in that comment section, shout out your favourite driver and get in that draw, otherwise it'll end up going to Dig Daddy Racing, so don't miss out.
Yeah, Andrew Uden up 10 spots to 9th. So yeah, Dig Daddy Racing has shouted him out. Looks like could be a Canterbury fella, is he, with Stanmore Auto Parts? Stanmore Road, I know where that is.
Also, only walls on the back of the car, that is only walls, not only something else.
Only Hams, this is another one I've seen. Nice baked one.
Rob Higgins putting some pressure on Ross Watson at the moment. Battle for an 11th spot. Just realised we haven't had track map up all this.
Well, they're fairly spread out.
They are.
Yeah, the first ever V8 race I did at a league was here. It was the Cup, Watkins Glen Cup back then in the old Falcon and VF Commodore.
Yeah, good old days of what's now the legacy cars.
Yep, your favourite car to race.
Yeah. Personally, I feel they're a nicer car to drive. The only problem with them is they are very easily damaged.
Yeah, soft and aged.
Ross
on
on
the
the
date,
yes.
that's a pit lane. What's going on there?
Well, that's interesting. That will mark a second stop for him.
Not put enough fuel in, maybe?
Potentially. It's not a drive-through penalty because he's pulling into his box.
No, we've only got one person tonight who's gone over the incident limit and they've already done themselves a drive-through. I'm not even going to let you know who that is, car 21.
I've got data on Simon getting passed by Dan Turner. That's just as a result of coming into the lane though. So not quite sure what's happened for Simon there. We do have a replay of a crash from Thomas McCall. Oh yeah, very tricky corner up there. The toe section of the boot part of the track. And just looping it there and getting a bit of a tack slapper as well.
That's actually going to be it for me tonight, guys. I'm just going to go nap out and do something very quickly. But pleasure commentating with you, and I will be seeing you next week. And good luck to all those races.
Cheers for joining us, Ben. Have a good night.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers, mate.
So we're closing on the last 3 laps. You can actually see the laps that they've got to complete now that I've fixed that up on the timing tower. I've had everything set up for HPR series, which is still timed races, so didn't quite have that set up right for this race, but that should be all good now.
Yeah, so the Simon Nathan mystery is just going to be one of those ones we're probably never going to know.
Yeah, looks that way.
Perhaps it was fuel, but you never know. Jonathan Turner. I do love a good black with a bit of orange. Looks good.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the old Tasman Racing Commodores back in the day. I actually believe that's what Bill Kilgood's paint is based around.
Oh, the Dodo one, yeah.
Yeah. But Bill's out by himself, and we do have a bit of a battle going on for P2 here, so we don't want to stray too far from that. Jonathan has been about a second and a half quicker than Michael Gunstone on the last lap, so Jonathan's on a good pace and ended up to second position here.
Yeah, and he's got a... Jonathan can sort of rest a little easy knowing that he's got a couple of teammates behind him too, Wayne Hartnell and Dan Turner, in between him and BJ O'Keefe, who is currently sixth. So they're all looking pretty sort of, there's a couple of little close car groups going on at the moment, but the most exciting one, you're right, Shana, is right up here at the front, P2 currently.
So Jonathan just hovering between half a second and a second behind Michael at the moment. Looks like he might be struggling to get right under that rear wing and challenge for a pass. John O'Lee's had a bit of a moment out there and ended up jumping to the pits, so we can see what happened to him. Just had a very late snap oversteer coming through the penultimate corner and heavy contact with the wall and just towing back to pit lane there, so not quite sure what went on there. It was very late in the corner they lost it, maybe just squeezing that throttle a little bit too much.
It's one of those tracks where you got to be on your toes. Some of the corners will just nab you if you're not paying attention, take the wrong line.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be very, very tricky.
The bus stop, you know, if you don't get the bus stop right, you overrun it at the end, and then you never get around that right-hander.
Yeah, that's right. Turn 1, I think, very critical to your lap as well. It's looks so simple on paper, but downhill braking, big curb that you've got to try and cut as much as you can on the inside of the car. Got to try and get on the exit curb, then go as wide as you can without picking up the off track, and then if you get any of that wrong, it just costs you so much time all the way up that hill.
Yeah, the boot part of the track has always been a bit hard.
Yeah, great to see V8s coming out here and actually running around the boot section more regularly now. Like I said in the intro, it used to be they'd do the cut layout, so they'd keep going a little bit further around that carousel corner after the bus stop and head straight down to the last two corners there, where now they do go down and complete the boot section, which adds a nice little extra challenge, especially for these cars.
Yeah, the cup car, you know, that was sort of $1.20, you know, that a minute 20 a lap, so it's another sort of 20 odd seconds just going around the boat. Well, just over a minute it is two-way, it's just like 105s, 104s sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. But Jonathan was getting a little bit wiggly coming out of the toe corner there. Really trying to squeeze every last little bit out of it. Finally able to get under that half a second barrier to Michael Gunstone. That just stretched him back out again now though, but he's really hustling to try and get close enough to challenge for P2 here as Oliver Jepson has started the final lap.
Yeah, so Jonathan Turner came in lap 15, Michael Gunstone in lap 12, so three laps difference in the tyres, so Jono's on newer ones by just a smidgen.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but 3 laps can make a world of difference, especially if you've been having to lean on those tyres quite hard in the early stages. It is possible to go easy on them in those early stages and look after them to where it doesn't make too much of a difference, but if you have had to do a bit on them, it can really set you back.
Yeah, about a tenth of a second in between them, their last laps. Well, about 2/10 in their fastest of the race.
And that gap coming down to under 0.3 now. So Jonathan really hustling, looking to see if he can put a challenge on, but he's running out of opportunities really. Good exit off here can give you a chance down at the heel corner, but Michael just able to extend that out probably enough. And yeah, Dono not able to challenge there. Oliver Jepson just a couple of corners to go on this one there. And that was actually a good illustration of where the cup circuit goes. You can see cars coming out of the loop corner in the background going down the hill. The cup circuit cut through that little bit of racing. And Oliver Jepson is going to come across the line and take out the win in the NAPA Auto Parts 150 at Watkins Glen. Michael Gunstone is just going to be able to hold off Jonathan Turner. I reckon one more lap and Michael would have really been sweating. But Michael Gunstone second, Jonathan Turner rounds out the podium positions in third. Dan Turner fourth, Wayne Hartnell fifth. Brett O'Keefe sixth, James McKenzie seventh, Andrew Uden 8th, and looks like no more shout outs coming, so well done Dig Daddy Racing. Looks like you've got some spanner cutlery coming your way. PM your details to SuperCars NZ so we know who you are and where to send it to, and we'll get that sent out to you.
Yeah, jump on the SuperCars NZ Facebook page and send them a DM.
Andrew Johnson comes home 9th, Rob Higgins in 10th. Scott Pickering's already reset back to the pits, but he came home 11th. Grant Bristow 12th, Simon Nathan 13th, Ross Watson 14th, Glenn Collinson 15th, Daniel Johnson 16th, Chris Zalewski 17th, Tim Volk 18th, just coming across the line now. Thomas McCall sitting in 19th with one corner to go, and he's going to bring that home and come across the line in a moment. He finishes in 19th, and Bill Kilger is going to be the last of the guys finishing on the lead lap, and he is going to come home in 20th position. Well done, Bill.
Yep, go do yourself a skid in front of that grandstand, mate. Break it.
I think the team's up and asked him to look after the engine. We've got James McKenzie doing a skid in front of a few Team West cars all lined up for a photo shoot there. So a bit of photo bombing going on by Misfits.
It's some good parking there, actually.
It is.
Give them that. Oh no, one in the middle, you're a bit wonky. Oh yeah, no, nobody's coming over for a yarn, a podium yarn tonight. I did mention in the server about that, but no stress.
Yeah, so nobody jumping into Parc Ferme for us tonight. But anyway, good little race we had there. I can even be pretty clever and bring up some results here. Maybe. Maybe not.
We tried.
No, not going to work. Okay, that's alright. Well, you can see it all on the timer tower there anyway, and I have run down the order for the top 20 at least as they came across the line. So thanks to NAPA for sponsoring this week and for your continued support of the Broadcasting Lounge, and of course Allports Motorsports for supporting the V8 Championship. And thanks to iRacing for providing the platform that we all go racing on. We couldn't do it without the hard work that those guys do over there in America. Thanks for joining me in the lounge, Corey. Actually, we've got Michael Gunstone has just dropped into Park Ferme, so we can probably have a quick chat with Michael before we go.
There we go, sweet as.
Michael, well done on finishing P2 in that one. How was that race?
Thanks. Yeah, it was pretty hard work. I was struggling at the start and pitted a bit early, got some clean track and lost the tyres at the end and had a good battle with Jonathan Turner and just managed to hold him off. Thought he was going to get me for good there, but no, it's good racing.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on that battle at the end. It looked like one more lap and you would have really been sweating, but you just had enough to hold him off there.
Yeah, I think I had just good enough drive out of turn one, and in the toe he just wasn't quite close enough to have a run into the bus stop, and then from there on in it was probably single file for most of the track. So yeah, good fun.
Yeah, certainly was really good to watch. Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Stanmore Road Auto Parts, the best auto parts shop in New Zealand. So if you guys need anything, doesn't matter what it is, if it exists, that's your place to go to.
And in Christchurch, is it?
Yeah, Christchurch, 245 Stanmore Road, and I've got a website so you can get stuff online there, and also you can hit them up with a message if there's anything that's not on their website. It's a work in progress. So yeah, good guys there, Andy and Ben. They back me in this and also in some real racing. So awesome guys.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, well done
Thank
on the
you.
podium, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thanks for putting on an awesome league.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Cheers for the positive feedback.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Cheers. See ya.
All right, so we were just about done with wrapping it up. So I think I've said thanks to everybody. I was in the middle of saying thanks to you, Corey, for coming along and joining me in the lounge tonight, and thanks to Ben, who had to unfortunately take off a little bit early, but good to have him. And thanks, of course, to everybody tuning in at home. And Dig Daddy Racing just confirming, yes, you did win that one. As mentioned before, just jump to the SuperCars NZ Facebook page and find the message button there to send a direct message to us and let us know who you are and where you're at, and we'll get that sent out to you. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.